I really think in what we're trying, like there is a lot of limitations around this. And the fact is, when we look at insurance across the board and the protectionism that exists within the industry and the lack of transparencies, the numbers on car insurance do not add up. But on October the 19th, the government announced abandonment of its plan to establish a claim-by-claim register of injury compensation cases. And we absolutely need that claim-by-claim register if we're going to be able to argue the facts. But one of the challenges when analysing the car insurance market here is the lack of hard facts and the paucity of the published data. And that has come from Dorothea Dowling as well, who I think has done a huge service to tackling the whole problems with insurance here. But she says at a headline level, the annual premium income for insurance on motor and liability is around 2.3 billion. However, only 276 million in compensation can be accounted for in 2017. So that is a data black hole of 2 billion every year. And that's why there needs to be a claim-by-claim register separate from the proposed fraud register, because having the claim-by-claim register would add considerably to the transparency of the insurance sector. And I think until we get that transparency and until we focus on that and until we stand up to the insurance industry who are holding policyholders to ransom around insurance, then we're not really going to tackle things. You see, when we are told by the CSO figures that insurance has gone down about 23%, I conducted my own survey on it, and that is not the case at all. Not the case, and that's not just anecdotal. I mean, I had hundreds and hundreds of replies, and all of them stated where their insurance continues to increase. But if we rest on our laurels and think, well, it's coming down, so the CSO said the figures are coming down, then there's nothing that we need to do. But obviously we know that we need to implement the 67 recommendations made within the report. But the biggest change also that's urgently required is in the corporate culture of the financial services sector. And I do think we need to look at the central bank and the role of the central bank in consumer protection, because if we were to have a separate financial conduct authority, as in the UK, then I think that would serve to help the situation as well. But we also need to know the outcome of the 2017 EU antitrust investigation into the insurance industry here. Again, it's impossible to find the hard evidence till we do. So I would call on the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to be active on that 2016 investigation where price signalling was identified by the insurers. Insurance continues to be a huge problem not only for the motor industry, but right across. Another thing I'm really concerned about, Minister, is in relation to Brexit and the number of people who are getting letters who have insurance. Say, I know one, for instance, a small farm, a model farm. So they have the farm and a pet farm, and then they go to different festivals throughout the year as well on that. Now, they were getting insurance for something like €700 from the English company. They now, in the last few weeks, they have got a letter saying, look for insurance somewhere else, and they cannot get insurance somewhere else. So that's, again, a small off-farm enterprise that's going to be shut down because the insurance isn't available for it. We need to tackle this collectively, but the government need to stand up to the insurance industry. And you know this, let's hear like yourself, from being in all of the hearings that we were in the Finance Committee. It all comes down to the lack of transparency and the lack of data. And from the outset, we have identified, that there are black holes within the insurance industry, and they know without us having that raw data that we need, we are not going to be able to tackle this in a meaningful way. And they have the headline thing that they want us to look here and look there and look everywhere, except within the rottenness within the insurance industry, who are making millions on the backs of people who cannot afford it. So I do welcome this bill here today, but we have a huge amount of work to do on the insurance industry, and it needs to start with truth and transparency.